Intro. If you are a Virgo, you already know what I am about to say. And you have never heard anyone say it this clearly. You are not a perfectionist. That word is too soft, too flattering, too Instagram-friendly for what is actually happening inside you. What you are is something psychologists would recognize immediately, a person running a continuous threat assessment on reality itself. Every room you walk into, every relationship you enter, every project you touch, you are scanning for what is wrong, what is fragile, what is about to break. Most people who know a Virgo have felt this without having a word for it. That slight tension in the air. That sense of being quietly evaluated. They could not name it. But you could. You always could. And later in this video, I am going to tell you the real reason Virgo helps people. Because it is not what you think. And it is not flattering. Stay with me. The core identity. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, the planet of mind, language, and signal processing. But where Gemini uses Mercury to explore, Virgo uses it to diagnose. The Virgo mind is not restless. It is precise. It is always working, always sorting, always filing information into categories of useful and useless, correct and flawed. This is a sign built around the concept of discernment. The ability to separate what matters from what does not. In a world drowning in noise, that is genuinely rare. Virgo sees the crack in the foundation before anyone else notices the house is leaning. But discernment at high volume becomes something else entirely. It becomes a lens that cannot turn off. Virgo does not choose to analyze. They cannot stop. The analysis is the operating system, not the application. What this produces is a person of extraordinary competence and quiet devastation. They will fix your problem while privately grieving that you had it. They will deliver excellence and feel nothing when it lands. Because in their mind, excellence was simply the baseline. Anything less would have been a failure. The dark side. Here is the shadow nobody frames correctly. Virgo's darkness is not cruelty. It is not aggression. It is erosion. The slow, surgical kind. Virgo criticizes because they are afraid. Specifically, they are afraid that if they stop correcting the world around them, something catastrophic will slip through. The criticism is a control mechanism dressed as helpfulness. And they are so good at making it look like helpfulness that even they believe it. This sign has a deep and largely unconscious belief that they are the last line of defense. That if they relax their standards, everything collapses. This is not arrogance. It is anxiety wearing the costume of competence. The result? Virgo can make the people closest to them feel perpetually insufficient. Not through malice. Through a standard that was never meant to be applied to human beings. Virgo holds the people they love to the same ruthless criteria they hold themselves. And they genuinely do not understand why that is painful. Retention peak. Here is what Virgo will never admit to themselves. The helping is not selfless. It is not even primarily about you. When Virgo fixes your problem, organizes your chaos, or points out where you went wrong, they are managing their own anxiety. Your disorder is a threat to their nervous system. Your mess activates their alarm system. They help because watching imperfection exist without intervention is genuinely intolerable to them. This does not make the help less real. But it changes what it means. Virgo is not a martyr. They are a person who cannot rest in the presence of disorder. The service they provide is also the compulsion they cannot escape. And until they understand that distinction, they will keep giving and keep feeling unseen. Because they were never entirely giving. They were also, always, self-regulating. In relationships. Virgo in love is one of the most quietly devoted forces in the zodiac. They will remember what you said 6 months ago. They will notice when something is slightly off before you have processed it yourself. They will show love through action, through the grocery run, through the detail they remembered, through the problem they solved before you asked. But intimacy is where Virgo's core tension surfaces in full. They want to be known completely. And they are terrified of being known completely. Because if you see everything, every anxious thought, every catalogued flaw, every fear they have been managing alone, you might confirm what they already suspect about themselves. Virgo's deepest fear is not failure. It is being seen as the chaos they spend their life preventing. So they maintain control. They keep the interior life curated, even with partners who have earned the full view. For the signs that can hold Virgo with patience, Taurus, Scorpio, Capricorn, this bond becomes extraordinary. Deep loyalty. Real attentiveness. A love that shows up in the material world, not just in words. But getting there requires Virgo to do the one thing they resist most, tolerate their own imperfection in front of another person. What they need to hear. You are not responsible for preventing every bad outcome. That is not a role. That is a sentence you gave yourself, and you can put it down. The relentless improvement engine running inside you was built for survival. It served you at some point. But it is now operating on a context that no longer exists. You are not in that environment anymore. The threat level is not what your nervous system reports. Your value is not your function. The people who love you do not need you to be useful. They need you to be present. And presence requires you to stop auditing the moment long enough to actually live inside it. You have spent years helping people become better versions of themselves. You have never once applied that same grace to yourself. Not really. You hold your own growth to a timeline and a standard that would exhaust anyone. The irony is devastating. The sign most associated with self-improvement is often the one least capable of self-compassion. Intelligence without mercy is just punishment. And you deserve better than what you have been giving yourself. OUTRO. Virgo is not the helper. Not the perfectionist. Not the neat one, the critical one, the anxious one, though all of those things are true. Virgo is a mind of profound sophistication trying to find safety in a world that keeps confirming its fears. A person of rare competence who has mistaken exhaustion for virtue. And underneath all that precision, all that control, all that quiet relentless service, there is someone who wants, more than anything, to be told that the world will not fall apart if they rest. It will not. You can rest. Subscribe to Astrea Zodiac for daily cosmic intelligence. This is your universe speaking.